In the Bible, it says it multiple times, do not worry. Just how it says, do not lie, do not cheat. Jesus himself said it in Matthew 6:25, do not worry. So why is there a lot of confusion, especially among Christians, to see if worrying is really a sin or not? And I believe the reason for this is because we have not differentiated between the feeling of being worried against the thought or action of worrying. So there's a difference between those two. There is no such thing as a sinful feeling. All feelings are God's gift to us. Our feelings are something that we cannot control, that comes out of our body to respond to the things around us. So there is no such thing as a sinful feeling. Jesus himself got angry, and yet he did not sin when he saw what was happening around the temple. The anger was inside of him, but he responded and acted in a way that is not sinful. In the same way, we can feel worried and yet not commit the sin of worrying, of acting or thinking worrying. So let me explain that. Mental health experts think that feelings only last for 90 seconds. That's about less than 2 minutes. Only 90 seconds. So if that's the case, then how come our feelings feel to last longer than 90 seconds? The reason for that is because our thought pattern and our action of thinking reinforces our emotions. So when we have the feeling of being worried, don't worry, no pun intended or pun intended, you're not sinning. Having the feeling of being worried is not sinful. You know what is sinful? It is the thought or act of worrying. It is when you choose to worry with your mind. You think that God is not able to provide for your needs. You think that your problems are too big for God. Your act of choosing to worry reinforces the emotions of worrying and adds another 90 seconds. That's why it becomes a never-ending cycle of emotions and thoughts. So whenever you are feeling worried, don't worry, because you are not actually sinning. But what you choose to do with that feeling of worrying is very important. When Jesus, on the night before he was crucified, the Bible described his emotion as being in anguish. You can say that he was feeling worried in an extreme level. But what he chose to do with those feelings was not to think in his head, oh, God is not in control, oh, God cannot help me in this problem. But what he chose to do was to come before God and said, Lord, I know that you are in control, and I will choose to submit to your will. Not my will be done, but yours. So if you would think about it, the feeling of worrying can actually be a gift sometimes. Because the feeling of being worried is an invitation from God for you to come to him. Whenever you feel worried, just think right there and then, God is trying to invite you. God is calling to you. Come to me and I will help you with your worries. Being worried, the feeling of worry, of being worried, is a golden opportunity for you to come to God and for you to grow in your relationship with God. So don't miss that opportunity whenever you start feeling the feeling of being worried.